Alright fuckers, welcome back to Practicing Portraits, an artwod roadmap. This looks nothing like portraits, but it will give me 6 to 14 months, right? And then it will be excellent. But even with a lack of portrait knowledge, who am I? I'm Viggy. I'm documenting the entire art journey, and I aim to prove that anyone can draw. I've been drawing for 3 years and 5 months now, right? And artwod, link in description. I am a fucking dick. Every time I forget I'm a dick writer. I'm a dick writer, I'm not affiliated, right? But with that being, fuck, did I spit on my page? Shit. But with that being said, please get your pen, get your paper, draw along, right? Draw along. I don't know, I was trying to make a point with this. I can draw like this because I practice the fundamentals, Jesus Christ. Alright, not the other way around. This is purely just an understanding of line, form, and perspective. Nothing else, right? And I don't even understand portraiture yet because I'm doing this shit. But what are we doing? To segue there. But yes, please draw along. Body doubling, please draw along. Do something fucking productive while you listen to this video, because we all know you're not being entertained by me, that's for sure. Right, so join me. Right, but with that being said, what am I doing? Well, we're doing the artwod portrait roadmap. I'm doing the exercise where I look at a portrait, I put a box inside, I encompass a box over the portrait, I put a sphere inside the box, I put center lines inside the sphere inside the box, I put center lines inside each plane, I put an ellipse inside each plane, and I visualize all of this fuckery while trying to then wrap forms around it, right? So this part, they don't even require. I do this for the 100% fucking extra credit on my own end, because that's actually something I want to talk about today. Is like, many people watching right now, none of you will actually understand at all the point of what I'm doing, because you most likely believe that shallow work will get you the understanding that you require, right? But I'm not going for bread. How the fuck do you say the word bread? Right? I'm going for depth, right? Because breadth will come with time, you know? It's not a sentence. Your breath will come with time. Fucking semen throat. But anyways, I've already started drawing, by the way. I've already started visualizing, because at the end of the day, drawing is thinking, right? So again, I'm looking at the existing portraiture or portrait of this human being, this woman, seemingly Ingrid Bergman, right? Perhaps a Jew because of the man, right? Well, if she has money, she can be whatever she wants to be. I will find out who this is, and I will beg, just like I've been begging you for money, right? That's my outro, actually, if you weren't aware, you know, a newcomer. But anyways, my bullshit aside, again, the main revelation, quote unquote, that I had yesterday was just, okay, zoom the fuck out, because you need to be able to see everything. We need to be able to see all of this. Again, I'm calculating everything. I'm calculating the box, the sphere inside the box, and my mind keeps trying to zoom in, so I need to keep zooming out, right? I'm trying to visualize and calculate the box, the sphere inside the box, the center line inside the sphere inside the box, right, which is these center lines, and then the center line, as well as the diagonal fucking center lines, I guess you could call it, right? Everything that just involves with the center line, the diagonal lines, the center, right, the ellipse for each plane, visible plane, right? So, and my brain can't really see anything right now. I want to be very clear. Like, I consistently lose devisualization, but again, I will keep reminding you that drawing is a working memory skill, right? It's a working memory skill. It is a cognitive endurance skill, right? How long can you hold multiple things in your mind while you're applying, which is another skill, applying while holding in your mind, while calculating, and then how long can you keep reconstructing that over and over and over? And that applies to not just this, but anything, whether you're ahead of me or whether you're behind me, right? It can literally apply to just you being like, I need to fucking make this line, and I need to make this the lines of this plane go to the horizon line, and I need to make sure the horizon line slowly gets bigger and bigger, right, as time goes on. And by time, I mean hundreds of hours and many, many, many months, right? That is the exact same thing, because again, the amount of things you're holding in your working memory, which is roughly 5 to 7, or 4 to 7, I think, doesn't change, right? Your ability to efficiently consolidate the information that you're trying to really push is what improves, you know, and how fast you can reconstruct it, right? But anyways, what am I visualizing? Well, I'm trying to accurately visualize the box that I'm going to be encompassing this portrait inside, right? But yeah, the main thing I wanted to talk about today is, like, I just have to we need conviction, right? I have conviction. I know exactly what I'm doing. I know I'm creating structural depth and understanding, and that's because, right, dude, I could skip ahead right now. I could skip ahead and just be like, all right, on to the next part of the portrait roadmap, do the fucking Loomis head half-assedly for like another fucking 10 repetitions, and because my spatial reasoning is at this level now, I could honestly probably skip all of that bullshit and just practice the eyes, the nose on top of it, and then have a decently pretty good understanding of portraiture, to the point that people will be like, oh wow, this is actually pretty good, right? I can. I 100% have the skills, the foundational skills for that now. But it's not about having the foundational skills that are half-assed in my mind, right? I want such the goal is to have such structural integrity in my foundations and understanding and application that when I do apply, I see the wireframe and the calculations constantly in my mind, and they're constantly calculating and being referred to within each other before I even put down the fucking mark and while I put down the mark. That is a different thing. I'm building a 3D simulation engine in my mind, right? I want to be very clear, right? And again, I have consistently lost the perspective multiple times. What perspective? The box and the sphere. And I've consistently zoomed in on this bottom plane because that's a habit that I have and was building, which was a bad habit, which was zooming in, right? So I'm trying to zoom out while I see the entire calculation, right? And again, like, I've been drawing in my mind. I've been constantly looking back at the portrait, looking back here, trying to immediately reconstruct this fuckery that's in green, right? And constantly calculate that while ensuring that I do understand the scope of what I'm drawing. And again, while I'm making this mark, I'm zoomed out. And you can see, like, now I'm zoomed in because I'm looking at the line. But hopefully you could tell there that the line itself is not, what the fuck is not? is not, it's difficult to keep that line in mind, bars, but it's difficult to keep that line in mind, bars again, Jesus Christ, shut the fuck up, bro, just shut the fuck up. It's difficult to keep the line in mind while zooming out and constantly thinking about the sphere, right? Like, it's extremely difficult, and to obviously ensure that what I'm drawing, and again, like, because while I make this line, I have to keep zooming out and be like, okay, think about the sphere, and again, while I apply the line, which is another skill, right, applying the line while zooming out and making sure that it is connecting to this. Oh, I did it, see? But that was so fucking hard because I'm basically rebuilding and revising and refining my skill of zooming out while visualizing everything, right? Zooming out while visualizing everything. That is a skill I am trying to build again, right? And fuck me, like, bro, I can, like, it's good because I'm constantly trying to calculate the center line here in the minor, but and the ellipse, but I've completely lost the ellipse here, the center line of the sphere, right? So I need to keep seeing that as well because that's the main thing, because that's what determines the center of the sphere. And while I do this, I'm constantly calculating just the perfect sphere that is supposed to be encompassed in this. And what I mean by that is I'm calculating the length of this line to ensure that a perfect circle, which is a sphere, is encompassed in this, and it'll likely be inaccurate, but I'm constantly trying to hold it right now. Right now, what we're doing is we're in output regression, right? I'm trying to zoom out, I'm trying to hold all these things in my mind, I'm trying to calculate all these things in my mind, like the center line, specifically right now, I'm really trying to focus on the center line, like this center line right here, this center plane, the center plane of the box, which then has the ellipse that, inside of it, which is the center contour, like the center of the sphere itself. Right? If that sounds fucky, it is. It's extremely fucking difficult. And that's what I wanted to say is, like, I'm building and you are building, we're all building when it comes to spatial reasoning, because that's what drawing is, right? Drawing from imagination is a 3D engine in your mind. Right now, mine is more complicated than yours, but that doesn't mean that yours is not complicated, because for you, it is extremely complicated. But again, to clarify, the effort that you're putting in does not change. And see, my lines are suffering because I'm putting in so much work towards the spatial reasoning itself, right? My mind is boring, right? Glucose is being borrowed from alternate parts of the brain where creativity, line work, motor controls are held responsible for, and going purely to my what the fuck, I cannot speak, to my prefrontal cortex, right? Where spatial reasoning is what's occupying the vast majority of my working memory. Again, cognitive endurance, right? And again, I zoomed in there, but I'm getting better. Just by constantly trying to zoom out, I can literally feel myself getting better, right? In terms of trying to match that. But I'm pretty sure this is not a perfect circle. This is actually a bit too wide. So I should have stopped this plane right here. But with that being said, I'm gonna rest my brain. I encourage you to do so as well. There's quite a few things I want to talk about, but I need a balance between consistently explaining what I'm thinking, so you're very acutely aware how much cognitive energy is going into the skill at all times, and explaining why that's important, right? And why I believe it. Well, Naruto, right? Believe it, not my bio. But just why that's important. But yeah, anyways, rest your brain. Utilize the gap effect. Your brain needs to rest. So rest that looking brain. So yeah, this type of skill that I'm building, right, which will seem, I don't like using the word insane because it's just hard. It's just extremely difficult. But just because it's difficult does not mean it is not worthwhile. But this skill that I'm building will seem, and by the way, like I'm trying not to zoom in on the line that I'm drawing. I'm trying to see, and I cut it off here because I still want to accurately make sure that the sphere I'm drawing is placed correctly, right? And this is much better. This is definitely much more of a perfect circle that's being embodied in here, right? But when you build difficult skills, the trajectory of the output, right, the result, will essentially follow. It's exponential, but it'll follow an even more steep exponential curve. Where for the longest time, right now, the next 6 to 8 months will just be not just this, but like will be me constantly refining and revising this. And see, this is the hardest part right now, is like because I'm looking here, I'm literally looking here, and I'm calculating everything here while I'm drawing this line. And holy shit, I actually managed to do it. So you attach dopamine not only just to errors, but also to obviously successes as well. By the way, this is diverging from this. So if you can see that, that means your eye can improve, right? I just noticed it right now. So again, like all these little things, and this is actually probably diverging as well. Oh, 100%. This going like that, right? And this is going this way. See, this is going like this. This is going like this. It's very slight. Like that's like 2 millimeters, which is drastic, to be honest, right? And you can see because I'm trying so hard, like my box actually is smaller now, which is also something I need to work on, right? But these foundational skills will not seem like they're important until they are. So yeah. Oh, and again, that's converging too fast. There you go. So this entire box is like completely wrong in so many ways, right? But whilst I see this, and again, even this is actually relatively decent. I'd say this definitely fits a decently perfect circle inside of it. And again, what am I trying to see right now? I'm still trying to see this center line of the sphere. Same with here, right? Like this this contour, this curved contour, which is just the ellipse being projected outward onto the sphere itself. I'm trying to see all of that, right? While also seeing the center line. Everywhere I look, I'm calculating the center lines. Everywhere I look, right? Whether I'm zoomed out, I'm trying to calculate the center line of the entirety thing. I'm trying to see this when I'm zoomed out. And when I'm zoomed in, quote unquote, just looking more specifically toward a particular region, I'm even more concentrated on seeing that properly, right? But everything that is foundational is going to look like shit, and it's going to look like it's not worth it until enough time, months and years go by, and then it will look obvious in hindsight. Like, of course he was able to get this good. Of course he was able to have this sort of skill. Of course he can just fucking see this insane wireframe. Obviously that work meant something. He was building the foundation. Who would think otherwise, right? Who would think otherwise? But that's the point, is like humans, right? People are not good at actually understanding the value of foundations. And I think the art fundamentals and all the fucking bitching that goes into the art fundamentals. By the way, I was so zoomed in there I couldn't see the entire sphere box, anything. But I think all the bitching that goes into the art fundamentals and learning them is honestly just a testament to that fact. Right? It's like people don't want to learn difficult things, and people don't want to understand why doing difficult things is good for them. It's not just in art, obviously. Basics of anything, right? Somebody walks into a martial arts, like a boxing dojo or club, right? What the fuck are they called, right? Establishment, whatever. They go in taekwondo, anything, right? The teacher's like, do 500 repetitions of this movement with your feet, this movement with your legs. Make sure you focus on your hips, and yeah, that's your next 4 months. And the dipshit is like, I know how to throw a punch. You don't need to tell me anything. And he's like, get the fuck out of my goddamn dojo. I don't need you here. Same shit, right? Get the fuck off my channel. I don't need you here. I do need you to have me on mute in the background, though. Please keep me muted, right? Body doubling. Honestly, I confuse myself with my own call to actions. I don't even know what I'm asking for anymore. But either way, right? And by the way, every line that I draw is an obstruction to me visualizing the sphere, as well as me visualizing the see-through, like the underside of the yeah, this is definitely converged. There's something going on here, because you see this length is longer and this length is shorter, so it must be that there's something going on here, right? Yeah, there's definitely a lot of inaccuracies, which I'm gonna have to address. Yeah, this is just too short, I believe. Maybe even that little millimeter difference. That's already a little bit better. Yeah, see, it makes a huge difference. There you go. That's a lot better. But either way, that was just me trying to think out loud in proportions. But what the fuck was I saying? What the fuck was I saying? Anyways, I need to take a step back, because again, it's not just about the duration of what you can hold the visualization. It is also about to the extent in which you can rebuild it, and that requires you to take a step back and then try again. right? And already, this is how your brain refreshes. Like, you just take a step back. Whether that wasn't even a legitimate gap effect. That was just taking a step back, right? But yeah. Anyways, now I'm gonna draw the features. And again, drawing these features is purely just for me to get proportional accuracy down. And it's much less about getting like accurate features drawn per se. But it's and again, I keep looking back at the portrait now, so every time I look back at the portrait, I lose the perspective I'm establishing every single time, right? So I just need to that's another thing, I just need to rebuild it every single time, which is extremely difficult, and I'm failing miserably, right? Like, it's actually not happening because I'm too focused on the features that I'm drawing, right? But see, and I fucked up my line work there as well, right? Let's see. But yeah, I can't see anything right now apart from just trying to focus on these portraits. But like when I look at it, when I try to zoom out again, it's like, okay, I see the sphere, I see the center lines, right? And I'm constantly trying to keep that in mind because again, like me seeing this center line is really important, and I need to ghost it as well. What is ghosting doing? Ghosting is bridging the gap between the motor skill and the visualization, right? It is reducing cognitive load on your mind towards actually doing the full visualization because the motor skill is reinforcing what needs to be visualized, right? That is the power of ghosting. There's a fucking scientific reason for everything. This is how we learn. You can either accept it and be like, wow, I can take advantage of this, and I can just fucking focus on pure effort, sheer effort, or you can bitch and moan and be like, I don't want to learn, right? You really have two options. And I assume you want to learn, right? I assume you want to enjoy learning as well. This is how you enjoy learning. You focus on the sheer cognitive effort, okay? Sheer cognitive effort, you know? That's how you learn. And drawing, more than any fucking skill, in my extremely biased opinion, of course, is sheer cognitive effort. To be more specific, drawing from imagination, right? Spatial reasoning, but everything. Come on, like, think about it. Drawing is literally just calculations, and those who get offended by that are fucking idiots, and that just means you don't know what drawing is. Like, you don't know what art is if you think art isn't just a series of fucking calculations, right? Your intuition, you know, that little feel-good vibe that people say is like, oh, that's drawing? Yeah, that happens once you actually understand what the fuck you're doing, okay? And that is a good thing. You, do not deserve to have opinions about a skill that we have not built purely on our expectations of what that skill is. If you expected drawing to be some wishy-washy, I'm just gonna stick my dick in the goddamn paper and suddenly Picasso's asshole will be on the other side, like, that's not how it works, alright? First of all, it'd be his mouth, because I heard he was a bottom, but actually no, is that what? Technically that's not a bottom, the other thing I mentioned was a bottom. God damn it, bro. But anyways, I completely have been losing the perspective multiple times, right? But art, it should honestly excite you and make you happy that art is a skill that is rigorous, technical, and has a clear A to B formula, right? And it should also excite you that, by the way, like, I completely lost the sphere because while I'm drawing these smaller details, I cannot think of any calculations because I'm basically trying to balance zooming out, seeing the sphere, seeing the center line, seeing everything, while also zooming in and thinking about the fact that I have to draw these really tiny lines and then fill in the space. And I can barely do that. That was extremely difficult, right? But it should, anyways, as I was saying, it should excite you that there's literally and again, artwod, holy fuck, I need to keep mentioning them because they're literally the fucking reason I can draw, okay? Like, artwod's literally provided and just broken down the bullshit, okay? What do I mean by that? Artwod is basically, because this information, like, you know, how do you learn form? How do you learn fundamentals? Like, how do you learn spatial reasoning? That shit was basically obvious in the sense that everybody went through that trial and error. Now, Antonio did the trial and error himself, figured out a system that was replicable, and then he has given it to us for a small fee of $500 million. But like, he's given it to us, okay? Like, look, like, this is the path. I'm just doing even more than what he requires because that's just how much better we can make our structural foundation, right? So, hey, you should honestly be happy that art is not a mystery. And that's the whole process of this channel. Art is not a mystery. Drawing from imagination is not a mystery. It is simply sheer cognitive effort, directionally correct effort, and intentional repetitions, hundreds and thousands of repetitions over hundreds and thousands of hours. That's it. That should actually make you very happy and be like, oh, it's just work. And I can enjoy the work by just focusing on the effort, attaching dopamine when I make mistakes. Like, I feel good about making mistakes. Also, dude, I'm so bad at, like, I'm not good at proportions right now at all because I keep fucking up her lips. I keep fucking everything up, but like, her nose is pretty fucking wrong too. Her lips are really wrong because I make them, the width is correct, but the Actually, wait, her jaw's here. Let's just say her jaw's right around here. Right? It's all right. It is wrong, and I don't have the foresight to like analyze that properly right now because everything in my mind is going towards spatial reasoning, right? So, yeah, and again, to put it very clearly, what I'm constantly trying to think about when I look at this, right, is this. You know, already trying to visualize, like the box is there, so thankfully the box is there, but already trying to visualize, and you see now, like, okay, my circle is way too wide, so that was a mistake, you know. That's a very good mistake, but I'm constantly trying to visualize this, right? Oh, and my center line was a bit off. No, actually, that's because this was off. My center line is correct. Yeah, my fucking diagonals were off that I just drew right now, but I visualized it correctly. Right, and then the minor ellipse, or the fucking minor, the ellipse with the minor axis that projects outward, right? As per the dimensions, or as per the perspective of the box itself. There you go, and then again, the ellipse in here, trying to visualize that. Right, and I actually think I drew this ellipse wrong, but yeah, I definitely drew that wrong. And then, you know, an ellipse here. Jesus Christ, bro, my ellipses are so fucking shit. It's funny, like when I'm at a point now when I imagine it, I do better than when I actually fucking draw it with all the structure there. But either way, that's what I'm trying to imagine. And then again, trying to see through the form for the center plane of the box, vertical and horizontal, and then now projecting the ellipse there, because that's the center line, right? That's the center contour of our box, right? Ah, fuck, that has to be more edged out. Get it? Ooh, I'm edging so hard, but yeah. See, that's what I'm trying to see in my mind at all times. That's what I'm trying to calculate, right? So anyways, I'm gonna rest my brain again. I encourage you to do so as well. But I get it. This foundational work will look like shit until it doesn't, right? Oh, he does not know what he's doing, right? He is creating a narrative in his head. This guy seriously needs to get a life. No, god damn it, nobody fucking talks to me. I'm just fucking talking to myself in my room, right? There you go. See, that already kind of looks like a face. Ta-da! Right, it actually does. It's a very bald woman. I should have given her hair. But see, that's how all of this is calculated. Through sheer effort. But anyways, let me rest my brain, Jesus Christ. And I encourage you to do so as well. And yeah, honestly, a lot of the times, the reality is you're just gonna feel like you're constantly moving backwards, right? Like, again, you are trying to do something very difficult, right? We are trying to create a reality that doesn't exist. We're trying to calculate things that don't actually exist. We're trying to base it off of fucking arbitrary relational or proportional measurements, right? Like, oh, if this plane is this big, that means this plane is this big, and that means the box should look like this in this perspective, and that means like in relation to all that, the sphere should be roughly perfect around this size, right? Oh, in relation to that, that means if I do the cross-axis here, the diagonal cross-axis and the vertical cross-axis, and then there's an ellipse in here, if I project it outward, then the ellipse should be something like this here, right? It's all relational, and it's all fucking made up, man. It's just in our head. We're going fucking crazy. So it is very difficult. I get it. And that's why it's worth doing. That's exactly why it's worth doing. But again, the point I'm making is like, nobody will understand. I know people will understand, right? Because I'm on part fucking 85, I think, with this video, or 84. I think this is 84, right? I'm on part 84 with this video, and still it's like, where's the portrait, bro? Where the fuck is the portrait? What is this bullshit? Why do you keep, what the fuck? Why are you seeing some random, like, why are you seeing grids? What's going on? It's like, that is the skill, you know? To be an excellent draftsman means to see things that others are unwilling to put the work in to see, okay? Kim Jong-il saw this. He saw all of this. This is literally what he saw, and more. So I have to put in the work to see that as well, right? Peter Hahn, I don't know if he sees this, but he's fucking excellent, right? Scott Robertson. Scott Robertson definitely sees all this shit, right? And again, I'm losing the box consistently, right? My working memory is constantly fighting between the box, the sphere, the center lines, the fucking diagonal, the diagonal cross section, the vertical cross section, right? Or like the straight cross sections of each plane, and then the ellipses inside of it, right? And then projecting it outward to the center line, horizontal and vertical of the sphere. And also while doing all that, trying to maintain the overall size and also zooming out as well, right? And then on top of all that, that's just the first step. Then it's designing forms on top of it, which is also extremely difficult, right? But the biggest thing I'm struggling with right now is obviously zooming out, you know? And on top of that, like decision making, I do have to make a fucking decision and be like, okay, this is the center, where does this go, right? And again, my mind wants to constantly wrap, like do too much curving like that when it should be something like this, right? Because that is incorrect. You know, that is not following the contour of the sphere, right? My mind wants to follow a plane, right? A center plane that is something like this, rather than what is currently established, which is something much more subtle like this, right? Like this is what my mind wants to do, because this is the angle that I've drawn much more comfortably and reliably in, right? Therefore, we say go fuck yourself, and we push ourselves beyond that, right? And I'm just constantly trying to calculate, and I'm losing it completely. I'm telling you, I'm losing it completely, but that's where sheer effort comes into play, and that's why spatial reasoning is a working memory skill. And spatial reasoning, like there's no such thing as drawing without spatial reasoning. It just doesn't exist. What a controversial statement, right? You can't fucking draw without understanding 3D space, right? Like in the pure definitional sense of the word drawing is spatial reasoning, right? Drawing is to create, okay, I guess not in the definitional sense, because then some dickhead will be like, actually drawing is just making lines until it looks like something that's realistic. And even then, so what is realism? Fucking 3D, right? It's not supposed to be easy, but that's exactly why you can do it. And here I am, you're welcome, right? What I'm doing isn't anything special. There will always be people better than me. There will always be people who have said this before me. I'm simply actually just listening to them and trying to go balls to the walls to the best of my ability, because again, sheer effort. The effort is the reward. So deep, he's so deep. Oh my god, he's very deep actually. Oh my god, he's gonna keep going, please stop. I haven't even consented, please. Your problem is you said yes in the sentence somewhere, and I do. When you said your vows, and that's all it's like. That joke made no sense. That joke made no fucking sense. Jesus Christ, bro. You consented when you clicked on the video. I consented when I started the video. Therefore, we're even. But shitty jokes aside, I'm really struggling to see the form, because my brain wants to keep going to this bottom part here of like the bottom plane, but I need to see the entire thing. Okay, now I need to make a decision. Again, you're like, what is he doing? What is he doing? Well, first I need to consistently calculate this center cross-section plane, right, of the box. And also it has to be consistently it has to consistently be reflective of the proportions that I am trying to maintain in my mind. That's the hardest thing right now, is like maintaining a consistent proportion, placement, and size, right? We all know size is important, please, all right? 2 inches is average, right? But anyways, Jesus Christ. And this is where I'm leaning in. I'm genuinely leaning in a shit ton, but I also gotta take a step back, because I also forget to take a step back. Okay, now try reconstructing, right? Because reconstruction, again, is where our brains excel, right? So I do forget. I'm constantly making mistakes, whether it's in my learning application or just like obviously within the actual within the efficiency of my learning application, as well as the application itself. Yeah, I constantly make mistakes there, right? And we forget, like I forget things all the fucking time. This is, again, working memory, right? Like, bro, we can only hold so much shit in our brain. Let me look at the reference again. See, like this box, my brain is not understanding. So I need to do something like this. And this may be incorrect, but I need to do this so I can... There you go. So that is me, like, to the, basically trying to, we're doing the center, right? Like this ellipse. And I'm trying to get the curve, the contour of the, you see similar to that, of this box down. Now that I've done that, like, it gives me a bit more of a frame to be like, okay, where is my box actually placed, right? Where is my box placed? This is the center line, obviously, and this is the side. So I got something like this here, right? This is the center, like this line right here. This is obviously a bigger box than what I did here, because I want to obviously expand the size of the box that I see, right? And again, like, I'm keep zooming in, so I need to zoom out, be like, okay, so this is the box, right? And then this right here, let's see, is I'm trying to think a lot. What I'm trying to think about is a form. Like, what do I want to jut out here? I want something that can be established solidly, I guess is not even the right word, but in a solid manner for the box itself. And again, like I completely lost the box again, and I've completely lost the sphere. But because I've established this, I'm gonna keep trying to use this as a means to ground the size of the sphere and the location, right? Like we're just trying to ground things right now. Is this even centered? I don't know. I don't know if it's centered. I tried to center it roughly, but if this is my line right here, then that means it should be something like this, right? Because what I'm thinking about, like if this is my curve, then the center line I'm establishing in my mind is here. This is the bottom, like this side right here. It's going across the sphere, and then that means the sphere is ending somewhere here, right? So if my line's here, the other line's here, that means I need something right around there, is what I'm thinking, right? And again, I've completely lost this right here. I don't see that at all, this center plane, as well as the ellipse that is inside of it, so I need to keep thinking about that as well. And that's a lot. That's a lot, so I'm gonna rest my brain, because I just, for at least a minute past extreme discomfort, tried pushing my brain to that level, right? But it's, and again, don't forget I'm narrating 23 calculations while I'm doing 23 calculations. And this is actually good for my learning because I'm breaking down my thinking. You know, this is the art or the science or whatever of metacognition, which is thinking how to think, learning how to learn, right? So me breaking this down is actually of benefit because I'm constantly evaluating, correcting errors, and making, and building, verbally explaining the model that I'm building in my mind, right? And again, the whole point of me doing all of this is to explain to you and to demystify, get rid of all the fucking myth, right? This is the work it's taking, and it's extremely cognitively tasking because it's a working memory deficiency. It's an ignorance proficiency, right? And it's simply trying to bridge that gap, right? So let me rest my brain. I encourage you to do so as well. Damn, I forgot to get a water bottle. That's really unfortunate. But yeah, see, it's been 30 minutes, right? 32 minutes. What have I drawn? I've done this, which looks like shit, and I've done this, which nobody understands, right? Because you can't see inside my mind, which is why I keep fucking explaining that this is what's happening inside my mind. This is what's constantly trying, this is the model I keep trying to constantly build inside my mind, right? Oh, right now, like, again, I built the model a little bit, just the box and the center lines, and like, again, I'm trying to see the ellipses again. But immediately my mind just went to here and be like, oh, just look at that, zoom in on that, because I built the bad habit of constantly being zoomed in on that. So we got to zoom out of that, right? But let me actually do something else to establish what I'm trying to draw. And again, this is where design comes into play, and my designs will be very basic, right? Because I do not have the mental capacity to design, to access the creative ideation part of my brain. So whatever design I do is just a general, genuine effort, but just a general idea, and be like, okay, what kind of vague shit, like, okay, like maybe I can start to think about maybe while I'm trying to hold this entire fucking box sphere fuckery in my mind, right, with the center lines, like maybe I can, oh, let me make it right at the center here, because I'm pretty sure that's where the center is, right? Maybe, hold the fuck up, shut up, bitch. But, and again, like while I drew that line, I zoomed in, I completely lost everything, right? What I'm doing here is like I was basically trying to establish the edge of the sphere, right? What I'm doing here is I'm basically trying to establish the center line, right? And I'm trying to think about, again, because my mind can't ideate right now because it's all focused on spatial reasoning, I'm trying to think about where the center line is. Because again, the main thing is to maintain this box, right? If I maintain this box, then everything else is much more consistent. And the sphere, yeah, let's not forget the sphere. If I maintain the box, I maintain the sphere, and again, the center line, really hard to think about, right? But if I maintain it, okay, so let me just think about the center for a sec, because I'm trying to think about this front plane. And again, my mind just zoomed in again. My eyes just zoomed in again, so I need to zoom out, right? But let me just try to think about that. Also, try to reintegrate the center line here back into it, right? Like this center plane back into it, right? And also this horizontal center plane back into it. If I try to reintegrate that as to the best of my ability while constantly thinking about everything, let's see, this should roughly be right. And I just want to do something like this. This is the diagonal, like this diagonal. So this is just, again, me calculating based on this diagonal, right? Based on this diagonal, right here. So something like this. And that's, oh, see, I zoomed in because I was drawing the line. So I zoomed in, I zoomed in, I zoomed in. That was wrong, right? And then we will try to create some sort of, and I zoomed in again because I was looking at that line, but we'll try to create some semblance of a design, quote unquote. It's all gonna be very basic. And again, like, oh, how are you choosing these shapes? It's like, it's just, bro, it's just subtractions and shit that I know, that I've practiced for hundreds of hours beforehand, right? Like, and again, like just general sheer ideation that I've already done, or just like experimentation that I've already done when it comes to like maybe this length with this length with this length with this length with this space looks okay, right? But again, I just lost everything again, so I need to take a step back and try, because I was zoomed in there while I was talking, and my brain was on autopilot, which isn't good because we never want to be on autopilot. We literally never want to be on autopilot because that is the antithesis of learning. Does that make sense? The antithesis to learning, right? So, and then again, I need to refer to this diagonal here, right, which is this, right? I need to refer, and I saw that. I actually did see that pretty decently, but I keep zooming in down here, so I need to keep looking at the box, because the thing is, like, no matter what I'm drawing here, remember, these are all obstructions in the way, and this is something that is now completely apart from the box that I'm seeing here, but it all has to refer to it. It all has to refer to it intensely, right? And right, that's why my brain is just purely focused on spatial reasoning, and I can't think of anything apart from that, right? Because I'm still trying to see the box, I'm still trying to see the calculations, right? But let's try to see what, because if that is that the center? That was roughly the center, but not really, right? Yeah, see, I made this too thick, so that is not the center, but it's okay. We just have to see the center line here regardless, right? Because that should be my sphere. And then I have to think again. I have to, okay, see again, like, and I'm having trouble explaining what I'm thinking now too, but at the very least, you should know that I'm constantly, recursively, consistently cycling all these calculations in my mind in the appropriate context to whatever I'm doing. So right now, if I look at this, I'm trying to think about the center line, right? This, and like the plane that's wrapping around the form in this specific context, right? And then this is like me being like, okay, well, then you have to remember the box. It's coming down here. And again, I zoomed in again because I kept looking at the bottom, and I have to be like, okay, well, this is actually the center line because this is where the side plane is, right? And then I bring it here, and then I'm like, okay, well, now let me calculate the diagonals, and like, okay. Oh, dude, my brain, holy shit, that was so fucking hard. Yeah, I genuinely feel mentally fatigued. I genuinely feel extremely mentally fatigued. Again, this is to put into context how much work I'm doing in my mind, right? Like how much work I'm constantly doing in my mind. Let's see. We could do something like, because again, I do want to do something like this, where I added a diagonal. We'll do it the other way. We'll go something like here, right? So again, that means I think I have to think about this plane. Let's see. Let's see. Oh god, okay, so this is really difficult. I'm trying to think about this front plane right now, but also like this part right here, like what that looks like, right? And the plane that's attached there, you know, to this part of the curve of the sphere, while also keeping in mind the proportions that I've already set for my box, while also keeping in mind that I may want to design something here as well. So let's see. Okay, so I think I'm gonna do something like this, right? Because I'm thinking about the center line right now, and there's a lot of different calculations going on. So I'm thinking about the center line, and this is the end of my sphere, I believe, right? Yeah, like that's roughly the end of my sphere. So let's see, we'll do something like this. And again, I'm pushing myself because I'm genuinely trying to start adding forms at random, unorthodox, unconventional, and just separate asymmetric spots, right? Obviously, I'm not doing that, but I'm trying to just make them at least separate and not conjoined together, right? Which makes it easy in the grand scheme of things. Like if it's conjoined, then it's like it's not that hard to just imagine what it would be like, right? In terms of like you can just refer to other things in the system, but that's not what we're trying to do. We're not trying to refer to other things in the system. We're trying to see the system and understand intuitively the entire system itself, right? So let's see, and then I want to. Oh, okay, actually, yeah, we can still do this. We can still think about this plane, and how it's focused here, and perhaps, I don't even know if that's good, but right now we can't really give a shit about some arbitrary definition of good or bad. We just have to try, right? And then again, I'm trying to think about this front plane while I still try to keep the box in mind. And you'll notice that this is even more difficult because I'm adding a lot of random obstructions, literally obstructions, while still calculating the entire form and having them all refer to each other in a very awkward manner because nothing is consistent right now. It's just, and that's the skill as well. Like, this is beautiful because it's forcing me to consistently zoom out and be like, well, no matter what you draw, you have to see the box, the sphere inside the box, the center lines inside the sphere inside the box at the bare minimum, if not also the other additional calculations that are constantly occurring in your mind while you do this, right? So they called him crazy, but he just wanted to be called Viggy. This is a shit joke. But yeah, right? So let's see, and then we have did I do a diagonal? I did do a diagonal. No, I didn't do the diagonal. Nice, I didn't do the diagonal yet. I did this diagonal. Yeah, I didn't do, let's see. Okay, I see the box. And then, okay, so that's something like this. Right? And you're like, yeah, like shit design. I know it's a shit design, trust me, okay? My brain doesn't have the capacity for designs right now. But what is this? What is this, right? Well, that was supposed to be this diagonal, but clearly it wasn't because I did not calculate it appropriately. I thought I did actually, but I think my I think my bottom plane is more like this. Actually, no, it isn't. So I did calculate it incorrectly. Yeah. See, it's supposed to be more drastic because I did maintain this correctly, like this bottom plane, even though this is a bit off, right? But when I revisualized it, I made it a bit more drastic, like the bottom plane. I made it more like that rather than this, right? So yeah, extremely difficult, extremely fucking difficult, but I need to keep constantly, and I just have to accept that that's a mistake. We just have to accept it, right? And let's see, let's do something like, because that's gonna be going over here, right? This is gonna be going around the form, right? Because we still need to make sure that we understand the form of what we're drawing, and I don't know what this is gonna look like. Okay, fuck man, that's hurting my brain. Woof! Okay, let's rest. I'm gonna rest my brain. Gap effect. Let's go! I encourage you to rest your brain as well, but oh, that feels so fucking good. This is what I mean. Like, it's so many calculations happening at the same time. And I hope I'm constantly putting into perspective that he's just trying to maintain this over here, and whenever he's drawing anything else, he's constantly trying to refer to this and zoom out and have that constantly be visualized. Visualize? What the fuck? Visualize? What did I say? Visualized? What the fuck? I don't even know what I'm saying anymore. But right, while trying to ideate and design forms on top of that, right? This is sheer cognitive effort, which you're capable of, because it doesn't matter what you're focusing on, as long as you're fucking taxing your working memory, entering output regression, which is that your output regresses, gets worse, even if your inputs are extremely high and like you're attempting to keep it high, right? And given enough time, hundreds of hours, enough repetitions, thousands, you will be at a level that you won't even be able to comprehend. But it's not about that anymore. It's just about sheer effort. It's always about effort. But anyways, rest your brain. Please, please, thank you. But yeah, the difficult thing about doing this type of foundational work, right, is the fact that because it is a C curve, or is it a C curve or U curve, whatever the fuck the curve for exponential growth is the fact that it is always difficult to understand in the moment, and it never looks good, and you feel as if you're not getting any returns, right? So it's multiple things are happening. Right, like you think you're shit, it looks like shit, right? And there's no validation that it's actually working, right? But the validation that I'm telling you right now, that I'll give to you over and over again, is that it's working because you're working and because you're taxing your brain, right? It would not work if you were not taxing your brain, okay? Like, it just wouldn't work, you know? Like, you would not be at the level that you will achieve over the course of your entire learning journey if you weren't constantly fucking your brain in the ass. Okay, that part's really important, especially in the ass, right? But yeah, like that's literally how it works, you know, is your brain learns through the severe discomfort, right? Not through anything else apart from just the extreme discomfort that you face. Okay, so there's my and again, what is this diagonal? Well, this diagonal, oh, like, okay, see, I can't see anything anymore because I was too busy talking and I was zooming in, right? But I think I messed up the angle that this is supposed to be at, because I can't see the box this resides in anymore clearly either, because again, these are all obstructions. Again, these are all fucking obstructions, right? But you feel like you're not doing enough. You feel like you're not doing well at all because you're trying so hard and nothing's happening, right? And the output is shit, like the outcome, the result is shit, and you don't see or feel the seeds being sown, right, of the giant oak tree that your skills will be. Oh, so beautiful. But yeah, like, but if there's any consolation and proof, look at my fucking channel, all right? You're on the right fucking path. You know, that's how learning works. And you're doing the thing that nobody else will do, which is the difficult thing. So you should be proud of yourself for that too. This is just me jerking myself off as well, but yeah, we're doing the right thing. We're doing the right thing. But anyways, I need to see the box again because I keep losing the box while I'm trying to calculate this. So let's see, that's my box, that's my sphere, that's my center line right there. I think I definitely fucked up the center line somewhere for sure. And I feel as if the curve I got in the sphere isn't accurate either. But we have to try. Because again, I'm trying to hold a fucking sphere. Jesus Christ, it's so hard. But again, like this is where I need to zoom out and just be like, okay, where is anything happening? Right? This is actually where my line is. So I definitely got the center wrong, but it's okay. Unless it's like super foreshortened. So this, it's more like this actually. I should extend this a bit outward. It's more like this. Right? And I zoomed in when I did that, so I need to keep referring everything I'm doing back to what it is. Right? And this is my center line, right? Okay, I lost the box again. Again, I'm trying to use the plane to, oh, see, like, I completely fucked up the perspective. But you know what? We can just say that this angle right here is this. See? It's beautiful, because there are still micro calculations that occur and micro proportional adjustments that you can make. So that's what that angle is. So we'll just go with that. But I keep losing the box. I'm literally losing this. I can't accurately see it anymore because these obstructions are getting in the way. They're obstructing my vision, my box vision and my sphere vision and my central line vision, obstructing fucking all of it. Because basically, it's been 47 minutes, right? At this point, all the errors I could have made have been made, and my brain is definitely going to struggle over the next 10 minutes to consolidate new information. Like 100%, that's how it's working, right? Because my working memory is taxed. So the only thing that matters now is just try to finish it to some relative degree. Right. Let's see. Let me, okay. I can't fucking think, Jesus Christ. Yeah, I literally cannot think, but I just have to believe. Anyways, okay, Jesus. And then this is the angle that I'm doing here, but we'll make it go down a bit more, and we'll have it go down like this. Because, so that will be similar to this. Okay, what do I mean by that? Jesus Christ, that was such a horrible explanation. It will be this. Like, this is the micro angle that I'm choosing, right? Even though I actually fucked that up, it would have been better if I stopped earlier. Holy shit, my brain. Holy fucking shit, my brain. Okay, so I need to go back and see the box again. I need to see the box. We need to see yeah, I really need to see the box. There you go. Right, and then same thing here. And there's a lot of really wrong calculations. And again, okay, I need to zoom out because I keep zooming in. I need to zoom out, and you see the box, Bro, I can't see anything. I literally cannot see anything. But I'm gonna continue. We're gonna finish this. Alright? Jesus Christ. Like, Jesus fucking Christ. So many mistakes. I don't even know what I'm doing anymore. I literally can't see anything. I just don't know what I'm doing anymore because I'm trying to calculate so many different things right now that I cannot see anything. Right? And this is the part where I need to keep zooming out, and I'm really fucking that up. But this is the part where everything feels like it's just crashing, because my brain, working memory, it's completely expended. I'm trying to hold fucking bare calculations, and now I'm doing this diagonal shit, which I don't even understand, right? So, let's see. Right? Because then this is something that's going down, like this is following the contour this way, I believe. This is going that way, so we need to curve that slightly, right? And then we just need to just fucking finish this. I don't even know, bro. I don't know if this makes any sense, but let's just do something like this. This is all intuition, by the way. I'm not fucking thinking. Like, my brain is done. Holy shit, I don't even think any of this connected properly. Oh my god, my brain. I need to take a step back.
Okay, I'm back. I stepped so hard.
Right, and now, Jesus Christ. We just need to close this shit off, bro. I can't see anything. I don't even know how this is gonna work anymore. There you go. Well, no, it could have been a better sphere. Definitely could have been a better curve. I didn't see that properly. Same thing here, right? We need to think about how, okay, that's gonna curve like that. And then the same thing, like it's following the this plane, right? Like this plane right here, this curve, and then it's being projected onto this part of the contour. And let's see, same thing's happening roughly here, right? And then we'll just, and again, I'm zooming in way too much. Jesus Christ, I'm zooming in way too much. But, oh shit, see, I fucked that up. There you go. Like the perspective's pretty off, you can see, for the front plane. My lines are also suffering, and I'm zooming in every time I fucking look at these lines. God damn it. God damn it, god damn it. Okay. Oh my god. Oof. See, because that's the goal for me. Is like, I want to draw god tier hard surface forms wrapped around this plane while also doing like the foundational work. Because at the end of the day, the portrait series is going to be a really fucky series for people watching. They'll be like, and by the way, I'm talking right now just to take a step back. Like, I'm not even trying to visualize because my brain needs the rest. But let me actually rest my brain, because then again, I'm trying to build a skill of talking while thinking while drawing, right? So let me rest my brain. I encourage you to do so as well. Yeah, Jesus. Okay, let me also explain what I've been struggling with, right? Like, what is the major difficulty that's been occurring? The major difficulty that's been occurring right now is, like, I've introduced another complex thing in this fuckery, which is I've already, like, trying to visualize. I've essentially introduced the diagonal. I've introduced the front plane having a wrap now, right? Like, we're trying to wrap things in this angle as well, apart from this angle and this angle, right? Apart from doing this and doing this, I'm now trying to do this, right? Like, I'm trying to go along the z-axis or whatever the fuck and make sure that it makes sense. And that, apart from just that, because it's technically easy if I just did something like this and then just went with the perspective, right? That's not too bad. Then it's like, oh, okay, it's just kind of like a box and it's jutting out. But what is a huge struggle for some reason, which makes sense, it's just another thing, is like, I'm doing a diagonal now, right? I'm diagonally putting things over here. Oh, look, I actually made a huge fuck up. This was supposed to be the end of the sphere. Yeah, see, that was supposed to be the end of the sphere, but then I didn't make it the end of the sphere, so I completely fucked that up. Jesus Christ. That was a huge fuck up. And even this, I think this curve is supposed to be around there. Yeah, see, it's supposed to be there. I should have started there, but it's too late. Actually, no, we're just gonna ignore that. And I'm just gonna bring it up. See, and again, I have to understand the contour now. Like, where is this going, right? Is it... It's like right there, technically. So again, where is that? The plane, the front plane. I think I was gonna talk about something, I just completely forgotten. Right, that's the front plane. Oh my god, Jesus Christ. My fucking brain is literally dying. And then what is that? It's wrapping around here? Bro, what is going on anymore? I just don't know what the fuck I'm doing. I actually can't see anything. I can't see anything. And this is normal, by the way. This is actually what you should expect. Because I have no idea what I'm doing anymore. Genuinely have no idea. Okay, so how's that wrapping around? See, that's also incorrect. I actually should have understood that this is not wrapping around like so. I don't know. I don't know. I'm just gonna ignore that. Like, I literally cannot do that right now. Which what we cannot do that right now. So yeah, I've experienced extreme output regression. My mind can't see anything anymore. I can barely see the box, let alone any of the calculations that I want to do. So this is now the new standard. Like, I don't know, my voice must have maybe scared you. I just randomly raised it. This is the new standard! But, but this is now the new standard, is figuring this out, these diagonals out. Because holy shit, my brain is dead. Like, genuinely, I'm gonna fucking rest my brain. Again, every time you're done these sessions, rest your brain. Right? Rest your brain. See, I actually fucked this up too. I fucked up these diagonals. This was relatively accurate. And then look at what happened here. So you can see it, extreme output regression, right? Oh my god. Right, Jesus. Just constantly trying to, and again, like the box, the sphere isn't even perfect. Everything around it is so messed up. Oh, but this is good, by the way. I don't feel bad. I feel fucking great. Okay, that line is like off too, but again, you know the drill. This is literally what I'm trying to imagine, right? This is literally what I'm trying to imagine. This center line especially, like this and this, right? And then trying to see the plane here and then same shit, like same shit. I don't need to draw the entire thing over and over again, but you see, you understand now like what I'm trying to see, right? Yeah, but yeah, after these intense sessions, because 1 hour of max effort, again, is 10 times more valuable than 2, 3, 4 hours of fucking mediocre effort when we're trying to learn and improve, right? But my brain has hit its capacity, 100%. It's been 57 minutes. Fuck it. I can't, dude, this is like, because I'm thinking so intensively now for the past couple sessions, videos, whatever the fuck you want to call it, episodes, right? It seems definitely like around the 50, 55, 57 minute mark. My brain is just taxed, right? Some might say I gave up. I would say I did. To a degree, like I couldn't think anymore, so I decided to stop. Perhaps I can rationalize it as a calculated maneuver. Right?
I didn't give up, I just stopped before it got hard.
Right, but no, like I made a lot of mistakes. I don't even know what I was doing, to be honest. Like definitely about, oh, it feels so good, but definitely about I'd say once I started drawing this shit, that is when my brain was just overloaded with all the different calculations I was trying to do, right? While maintaining like the overall zooming out. Like again, zooming out is something I'm constantly practicing now with this, because that's going to be the biggest ROI, zooming out and seeing this, right? Zooming out and seeing it. But yeah, trying to see it in the right perspective. It's okay. Honestly, overall, this was an amazing practice. This is where progress happens. When you come out of it being like, bro, this looks like fucking ass. Look, this is what I did yesterday. This is what I'm doing today, right? But I'm trying something even harder today, is the fact that I don't know, like, is it harder? It is harder. It's the same shit, but just some days it's gonna be much more difficult to maintain it than other days. And at the same time, it's just, I'm constantly pushing my mind, right? Which is why next week is actually my off week, because I don't know if anybody knows, but 6 weeks on of my schedule, 1 week off. The 1 week off is still I draw and I still do piano, but I don't do coding. I do light exercise, right? And it's literally because I do such intense spatial reasoning work. The 1 week off is necessary, honestly, for your brain to like flush all the fucking, what is it, the neural toxins while you sleep. And the whole thing is like the 1 week off. I mentioned this during my Challenge 52 series, I guess, but it'll just be Challenge 52, and it'll be mainly focusing on line quality, so my motor skills don't diminish, right? Focusing on line quality and just generally trying to like understand design and make pleasing and play with form. We're gonna play with form, and we're not gonna think extensively. It's all gonna be based on intuition, in the sense of like I'll just generally think about the space and the spatial reasoning and the 3D-ness and the 3D forms, but not anything beyond that, right? Because that is gonna allow my brain to actually consolidate and refresh a lot of this information and make it a much more solid schema. Is it going to be exactly like this? Likely not, right? Because it's still going to be incremental progress. But yeah, oh yeah, what I was trying to say is this. Okay, thankfully I have the time now because I'm done my practice. But I was trying to say earlier is to those of you putting in extreme effort, to those of you on the same journey as me, wherever you are, whether you're fucking hundreds of hours behind or even a little bit ahead, because I highly doubt people better than me are watching, right? But wherever you are, right, it is disproportionate. The effort you put in and the output you receive is disproportionate, right? So that's the first level of disproportionateness is I'm putting in so much effort, but I don't see myself actually getting better. The second level is the lack of visibility in the improvement, both external in the output, the result, and internal, which you don't feel yourself getting better, right? And now the third thing is the reality. And within the reality, there are two things that yet again, which is the same thing. So within the actual reality, right? We talked about the feelings and we talked about how it feels and like what's actually happening. But then now here's the reality when it comes to learning and getting better, is that it is disproportionate in the sense that in the beginning, disproportionately, your effort will not reflect your reality. It will reflect the result or the output that you want. But what's also disproportionate is to the degree you drastically improve as you continue to lay the foundation brick by brick. Right? That is also disproportionate, you know? And my channel proves it, and my skill acquisition proves it, and your skill acquisition will prove it as well as all those better than us and all those on the same path as us. Granted, you keep putting the effort in, okay? So that is the true disproportionate nature of skill acquisition, cognitive load, working memory, all that shit, spatial reasoning, is that in the beginning, for a very long time, it will not bear fruit. But as you continue to practice and as you continue to rest after practice, which is even more foundational, as you rest, you do not stimulate yourself, you rest for minimum 10 minutes, your brain will be consolidating that into long-term memory. That is crucial, okay? So yeah, as you continue to practice and rest with intent, right? Disproportionately in the beginning, you'll feel like nothing's happening. And then disproportionately, as time continues, the foundation will reveal the extreme exponential growth that you have achieved in the things that you are practicing. And then again, you continue to push beyond that, because now that you've quote unquote achieved that exponential growth, there's now another plateau, which is the next thing you're focusing on. And for me, that's this, right? And that's what I'm explaining. You know, we're all fucking coping here. It's not a cope, it's reality. Like, jokes aside, it's fucking reality, because I've proven it hundreds of times to myself, literally throughout the channel, and thousands of times more, right? And I hope and I implore you to use that proof of evidence that you are also in the midst, what the fuck, I can't fucking speak, of that, and you will continue to be in, like, through those ebbs and flows. But that's how it works. So that's the first thing, right? So the reality is, like, that's how the disproportionate nature works. The second thing is visibility. Again, right, is that the reality is visibility. Yeah, you won't see the progress for a very long time until, again, you do, given enough time, intent, repetition, and rest, right? How much time? Months, years, your lifetime. But yeah, like, you know, not to be all fucking pedantic, but like, yeah, take the fucking lifetime thing aside. Like, within your lifetime, within the years, not months, but within the years, you will have seasons of months with no progress, and then a sudden random month where it just catapults. Could I have done this 80 hours ago? Fuck no. Was I even thinking about visualizing something to this extent 80 hours ago? No. I was just thinking about the box and the sphere and just barely thinking about the central lines. And now we've added so much, and and now we're challenging ourselves so much. So that's learning, but I hope that makes sense. At the end of the day, you just gotta keep fucking going and keep trying and understand that it won't be visible till it is. The foundation won't matter till it will fucking 100% matter. And to onlookers and the outside and to the result will be like, damn, what the fuck? How does this all, like, how's it all coming together? It just looks so natural. And in your mind and me verbally, we say, shut the fuck up, because we know the work it took, right? And everyone is capable of that work. This isn't about it being superior or whatever. It's about acknowledging the work it takes, believing in the work it takes, putting in the work that it takes, and understanding that everyone is capable of this. But it's okay if they don't do it, because you continue. That's all that matters. We point our fingers at the page, wee, right? So with that being said, oh, Viggy inspiration and my brain is dead. Wow, we're getting a fucking twofer in this video. Wee, but I don't know why I said we again. But anyways, Jesus Christ, as always, I hope you put a lot of effort in. Rest your fucking brain now, minimum 10-15 minutes. Dude, immediately, right after this, what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna put my timer on, rest my brain. Don't think about anything. This is crucial to learning. Again, search it up if you don't fucking believe me. Search up gap effects, search up fucking focusing on the effort, search up attaching dopamine to errors, search up resting after a long, intensive learning session. Search it all up. It's the fucking truth. I'm just applying it and proving that it works constantly, right? So yeah, if you want to be efficient with your learning as well, listen to everything I say. But with that being said, as always, Jesus, I'm so dead. Fuck you for watching. Keep drawing, and please give me money. I don't know what the sequence is anymore. Yeah, just give me money.